Hi, I'm Gary White for Channel 6 Central Kentucky Television, and I'm here at the Nelson County Extension Office with Luke Freese, and we are continuing to cook through the calendar.
Yeah, month number 3.
That's
We're
right.
in March already, which is crazy. Seems like it was just a new year.
I know.
2 months ago, right?
It's moving quickly.
But
It's the Food and Nutrition Calendar from the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Service, and you can get a copy of the calendar here at the Nelson County Extension Office or Marion or Washington, or just give us a call and paste it on.
Yeah, and they're distributed across town as well. I know some people come in and grab stacks of them or boxes, so we have plenty, and you can find them in all areas of town, not just if you're in Nelson County, not just here at the office. So we obviously would love you to come in and see us, but you can find them elsewhere.
Super. And then you can cook along with us because we've already done January and February, and those videos are available on channel6tv.com. But we did our citrus chicken stir fry,
Which is very popular.
Yeah, that was good.
People have gotten back to us with that one and said they really enjoyed that one.
Cool.
And then the second one, February's, was really good as well. It was cold, it was rainy that day that we had it, and it was kind of the perfect solution to all of our winter blues. So
yeah, it seems to be rainy every day.
I know, right? You can't
That doesn't dwindle it down.
I know.
But yeah, the hearty comfort soup. And now we're going to make a breakfast hash.
Yeah. This is, I told you before the show, this is the first time that I've actually done it. So we're going to work together. It is a 2-skillet meal.
Okay.
So you're going to kind of be doing 2 things at one time. If you wanted to half this recipe, you could. And because it makes 6 eggs, and then it makes 2 skillets worth of the meal, of the hash.
Okay.
So if you wanted to half it because you only had a couple people or 3 people and you wanted an egg apiece, you could do that. So you'll have to kind of adjust it as needed at home. But today we're going to follow the recipe exactly, which is a new thing for me. Usually I go off script, but yeah, we're gonna give it a shot. So
cool. Okay.
Just to kind of go down the list for what we have here, we've got 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And I've actually put a little olive oil in the one pan that it asked because we wanted to get it heated up and ready to go.
Okay.
We're going to do a ½ pound of breakfast sausage, which we have right here.
Okay.
We're going to do 1 small onion chopped. I did kind of a medium-sized onion, so there's a lot of onion there. We may, again, it all has to do with your taste, so if you don't like as much onion, leave a little bit out, but we'll probably use half of that or so.
Okay.
We're going to do 1 bell pepper. We have green bell peppers. Obviously, you can get them in all shapes and sizes and colors, so if you would rather put in a yellow or a red or an orange bell pepper, that'd be fine. Again, we try to mix and match the colors. We want it to be colorful, and so we've got the green. They've got the green in the calendar here too, so it looks very nice.
Absolutely.
We're going to do 1 large sweet potato, which we have there already kind of chopped up.
Oh, I thought they were carrots.
No, that's sweet potato, yeah. You could probably do carrots, but it's sweet potato.
Okay.
Robbie in our office here thought the same thing. He said, oh, I thought those were carrots. Sweet potato, and then we'll do, to season a little bit, we're going to do paprika and pepper, which I've just kind of put together there, and 1/4 of a teaspoon of each of those, and then we'll do 6 eggs. So we're going to have 3 eggs in each skillet by the time we're finished.
Okay. So now, how many servings is this going to make for us? 6 servings.
6 servings. So I would imagine it's kind of an egg and some vegetables for everyone per serving.
Sounds.
And then the serving size is 1 cup. Cost per recipe is $6.46, and that's kind of pretty accurate. When I went to the store this morning, even though we have all these things going on and people are buying up eggs and bread and cheese and milk, that price was pretty consistent with that.
Cool.
And then cost per serving is $1.08. So we'll go ahead and get started. And like I said, you're going to use 2 different skillets to start this off. So Gary, if you want to man the skillet with the sweet potatoes,
okay.
All you're going to do
what to do.
is we've already added the olive oil, and it says to set that aside. But we're going to kind of keep that olive oil on lower heat just when we're ready to add the potatoes, we're ready to go.
Okay.
And then we're going to go ahead and put this sausage in the other skillet, and we're going to brown that. And actually, Gary, if you want to go ahead and get started on the sweet potatoes, you can. I think it tells you to set it aside because they don't want you to do 2 things at once. But since we have 2 people here.
So pour this in here?
Yeah, go ahead and pour all the sweet potatoes in there. Perfect. And we'll kind of get those fried up and cooking at the same time so we can have everything ready to go when we're ready to add the eggs in.
Okay.
So you're just going to brown the breakfast sausage like you would if you were cooking spaghetti and browning, ground beef or whatever the case may be. So you don't want to see any pink in there. Again, we want to make sure that we cook all raw meats to temperature.
Right.
When you're preparing, make sure you're not cross-contaminating.
And our temperatures are on our handy-dandy
yes, it's on yours.
apron here. Which, should that be pork?
Yes, pork.
Here, 145 degrees Fahrenheit, 63
Right.
Celsius.
So it's going to be tough for us to use a meat thermometer here just because it's going to be ground up and broken up, but you want to make sure there's no pink left over before you go ahead and add the vegetables in. So,
Okay.
So we're getting there.
Oops.
Gary's throwing things at me. It's great.
I'm throwing these sweet potatoes all around. And some of these items, when the farmer's market's in full swing, you can pick up, if you're going to be doing this later
Yes, absolutely.
on, definitely get your peppers and your onions and eggs.
Yes, and
Maybe get some sausage too, 'cause there's some
yeah,
sausage
I don't know
here,
if there are meat vendors at the market. They have to have different certifications for those kind of allergen products.
too. Are sweet potatoes locally grown as well?
They can be. Kentucky's really good about growing root vegetables, so potatoes, onions, garlic. The soil seems to be nice for those. Actually, when I went to the store this morning, all three, the onions, bell peppers, and sweet potatoes were all pretty low price because they're, somewhat in season.
Okay.
They're kind of colder weather vegetables. We can use those root vegetables anytime. So
Cool.
all right, so we're getting there. I'm going to go ahead. It says to add the onion and the bell pepper to my sausage mixture there. So we're going to, and you can just keep going with those. And if
Okay.
you want to, you can bump
Bump
that
it up.
heat up just a couple notches. I
Okay.
don't want that olive oil to get too hot, but
And be careful, I don't know if you might have noticed when I added this, because there is water in it that does kind of
yeah,
And
we've talked
splatter
about
a little
that in earlier episodes. Just anytime you're adding something that sweet potatoes carry some moisture, and when you have a hot oil and you're adding water to it, you always are kind of at that risk of splashing it up on you. And then you never want to add, obviously, the cold water or any kind of water to hot oil because it will blow up on you. That happened to me as a kid. That's how I learned the lesson.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
but it hurt.
Yeah, it was not fun. I had scars everywhere for
Really?
a while. It was not fun. So, don't want to learn the lesson the hard way. You can just listen to us this time. I'm splashing stuff everywhere too, Gary. All right. Smells nice. We're going to
Yeah,
go
smell
ahead and
edition.
have you add the paprika and pepper to the sweet potato
Okay,
mixture.
so sweet potatoes.
And the sweet potatoes are probably going to take the longest to soften up out of all this stuff. So Gary's got the hardest job here.
Of course.
That way, if anything doesn't turn out good, we can just
Yeah.
Blame
For the
Gary.
least experience.
that's looking nice.
Yes, it does. What kind of texture do you want for?
Again, I think it's really up to you. I've had some people that like to eat potatoes just like they are, like raw, like a biting into an apple. I do not. I
Yeah.
like mine soft. And I think for this, it would be good if you got them to a point where they were a little brown on each side to add a little crunch, a little texture to it. But again, when you're cooking, you get to decide what texture you like. That's the beautiful part about being the cook.
Right. And I noticed too with the onions, that's kind of to taste as well. However however much you want to add.
Right. Yeah. So we added about. Like I said, it calls for a small onion. I had more of like a medium to large size onion, so I chopped all that up. So I don't know. I don't like a whole lot. I don't like it to overpower everything. So
Right.
we just added about half that.
Okay.
And if you want to find a video, I can't even remember what recipe it was, but if you want to find a video on an easy way to chop an onion in a safe way too, you can go back, look at
Right.
some of our previous shows, and
Yes.
I think we've done it 2 or 3 times.
You showed the technique
Yeah, we may have to bring it back.
with your claw.
Yeah, with the claw.
And how not to cry.
Yeah, we've done it all.
Yeah.
We've done it all here. For the sake of time, I didn't do it today.
Okay.
So this
How's
is
it
going to
looking?
be, I think it's looking pretty good. So this is going to be the part where you're basically going to go half and half with each thing in each skillet. So
Okay.
we're going to separate half of what we have in each of our skillets,
Okay. We're going to swap.
and we're going to try to swap them over.
I think I've added a little more on this side. How's that?
Perfect. So we might actually need another bowl to dip those out.
Okay.
So I'm going to grab a bowl.
Okay. And then I'm going to scoop.
You're going to
Half
scoop
this out.
into the
Okay.
bowl.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Actually, we can
Gotcha.
just use this.
Okay.
All right. So you're going to scoop half of what you've got there into that bowl. And I'm going to scoop half of what I've got into this bowl. And then we're going to transfer them over.
Okay. Okay.
Easy enough. We're lacking a spoon here.
Okay, so now we're making our breakfast hash, which is the March recipe here. And as you can see, this could
is
be a
quite
fun
the process.
Yes,
Right?
this could be like
This could be a
those-
family activity.
I was going to say, this is like a date night type
You're
of thing.
going to be like,
We
hey,
can
all
go out.
hands on deck for
Exactly.
this
And everybody can contribute to it.
one. So, like we said at the outset, if you don't have two people, if you're trying to do this at home, I wouldn't recommend trying to do two skillets at one time.
Okay, so you can put half
But you can cook one, put it aside, and then go ahead and cook the other, and then transfer it over. But
Okay,
today we're trying to multitask.
so I can mix this
All
back
right.
in there. Huh?
So I'm going to go ahead and dump half of mine in there,
Okay,
and you can go ahead and stir that all around, Gary.
okay. So we're combining these two.
The beautiful thing about this is you can, cooking creates a mess sometimes, but that just gives you an extra thing to be able to hang out with your loved ones and do. Clean up together.
Great thing about a dishwasher.
All right. It's looking nice. Colorful?
Yeah, absolutely. And we have the various colors because we say you do eat with your eyes
You
as
eat with
well,
your
right?
eyes first. So if it doesn't look appetizing, you're probably not going to think it's very good when you taste it.
Right.
And I think this looks pretty nice.
It does.
So
And it looks definitely hearty.
it does. It looks like, well, then we got all our food groups pretty much. We'll have dairy in the eggs. We've got vegetables in there. We've got some protein in the breakfast sausage. So we're getting all
stick
of our
with you.
food groups. And as usual, we're going to go ahead and bump these down just a little bit, Gary.
Put down back over
As
there.
usual, it'll tell us how to make it a meal at the end. So we'll talk about that too. So once you get these separated, you're going to try to make 3 holes for your eggs. 3 spots.
Okay.
So however you can do that, Gary. I'm going to kind of do that there.
It's like cutting up a pizza.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've got one on the end, one in the middle, and one on the other end.
Okay.
But you can do it however you see fit. This one's got it in a triangle shape. So if you want to try to do that, you can. It's
Okay.
like art.
I know.
We're making a
Being
like
very
drawing
creative
a
with this
picture.
one here.
All right, I know. Hey, I didn't write it. They wrote it. So we're looking pretty good here.
Okay.
We're going to go ahead and get these eggs. And a lot of people, when they try to break eggs open, they'll break it over the pan or they'll break it on the side of a countertop.
Right.
Thing about that is the eggs can carry a lot of bacteria. And when you break it on the countertop, you might not know it, but you'll get some of that yolk or some of the white onto the countertop, and then you don't clean it, and then maybe you dip your hand in it, and it goes on and on. So
Right.
to keep us safe, we want to try to break the egg over the pan, and you can do that by using the dull side of a butter knife.
Okay.
So you'll just kind of tap it, and that'll get you a break in the egg. And you want to try to not get any shell, and you're just going to break your eggs into those little holes
Pockets.
that you've made. So we'll get Gary another butter knife
Okay.
since we're
Thanks. Okay.
He looks unsure.
They don't have to end up fried like that, do they? They could be like a scrambled egg in there. I just don't know.
Come on, Gary, you got it. You got it. I have faith in you. So we did bump the heat down a little bit because it does ask for you to do that in the recipe. It says cook the eggs over medium to low heat until the eggs are cooked firm.
Okay.
So if you have it on too high a heat, the bottom of the egg is going to get burnt, and then the top of your egg's not going to cook all the way through. Since we're not flipping these over, we want to make sure the eggs cook all the way through. And I think your apron might say
Egg dishes, 160 degrees.
so. That's it,
Fahrenheit.
probably if you're baking like a casserole. But we want to make sure that all the white is cooked through.
Okay. Got them into my
Wow.
little.
I think yours looks more like the picture than mine. You've got them in the nice triangle there.
We'll see. I'm just gonna rinse off my fingers
Wash
here.
your hands there, which, while we're talking about hand washing, an important thing to remember, especially we've got flu bugs going around, we've got new strains of viruses going around, and so we don't want to panic or overthink a lot of these things, but just really try to practice good hygiene. Wash your hands. Make sure you use warm water. Wash your hands for 20 seconds. Make sure you get the backs of your hands all the way up to your wrists, in between your fingernails. I know a lot of times we get in a hurry. We want to just kind of, wash your hands, put a little soap, but really concentrate on it, especially this time of year and with the situation that we're experiencing now.
And when you're cooking, particularly for
I was speaking of, I'm going to wash my hands while those cook.
Absolutely. And again, we're making our breakfast hash, and you can get your copy of the calendar at any of the extension offices all throughout Central Kentucky, or you can go to some various places throughout town too, and they maybe pick some up, or give us a call, and we'll be happy to get one for you at 270-692-0237.
Yes. Okay. So it recommends, again, we talked about trying to make this a meal. You can add some whole grain toast.
Okay.
And you can look on the back of a label for any kind of bread product, and it'll tell you whether it's whole grain or not. It'll be the first ingredient listed in that. So look out for that on that nutrition facts label. You can add low fat or skim milk to drink, and then it recommends canned peaches. We talk all the time. We just want to make sure we get the food groups. So if you want a different kind of fruit, by all means, feel free to go strawberries or blueberries. Always go strawberries or blueberries.
Blueberries is a superfood.
Yeah, they
I
have
like blueberries.
a lot of berries have antioxidants in them. So those are your essential kind of minerals and vitamins.
Berries are.
And so berries are always a good choice. I mean, peaches, anytime you're adding fruit and you're getting all 5 food groups, that's what we consider a balanced diet. So that's what we want to shoot for.
Great. Cool.
We're just waiting. These eggs are taking a little longer than maybe we thought.
So what we're looking for on the egg is so it doesn't have that runny.
Yeah, we want it to be
feel, right?
opaque, and you can see the white in some of mine. It's a little yellow right now. So yours right here, see how this opaque, the ends of this egg are opaque? That's what we're looking for all around and almost on top of the egg. And you can see that here on the calendar,
Right.
where this egg on top of the yolk, it's still got a little white opaque color to it, and that's what we're looking for. So
Okay.
it might just take a little while. We can't force it to do what it needs to do.
Absolutely. But make sure you cook it thoroughly, cook it through, and for our breakfast hash, and again, get your recipes with our food and nutrition calendar.
Yeah,
So it looks good.
it looks very good. Another thing, just while we're waiting, is they have physical activity tips on here. This says try the 28-2 rule, which is 20 minutes of sitting. If you're sitting for 20 minutes, you want to stand for 8 minutes, and then move for 2 minutes. I've never heard that, but I think I'm going to try it.
Sorry, repeat. I was looking at the egg. Okay.
So especially if you're at work, okay, like I sit for maybe an hour at a time, this really encourages you to, if you're sitting for 20 minutes, stand for 8, even if you're at your desk or workspace, and then move for 2. So If you can take 8 minutes to stand, work, and then kind of walk around for 2 minutes, then go back to sitting.
It's like those standing desks that are kind of really popular. At some
Yeah,
other
there's all
places,
kinds.
too.
We actually have those not medicine
Workstations.
balls, but the yoga balls. Some people use those, to sit.
really?
So it improves your posture. You're not leaning forward or leaning back. Kind of helps out with
Helps
back
your core.
problems. Yeah.
Yes.
You can do sit-ups while you're
Exactly.
sending emails.
Cool. All right, so we've been waiting for our eggs to finish.
Yes. So it asks in the recipe to cook over medium to low heat until the eggs are cooked firm. So
Okay.
I was talking to you, one way you can tell that your eggs are probably close to being done is if you see bubbles in your yolk. That means it's getting cooked all the way through. And then like we said, and I don't know if you can see, if the viewer can see this egg here, but you've got some of that white just getting that opaque color that we want to see. So that's a pretty good indication that your eggs are ready to go. If you want to, at home I always flip my eggs on the other side to cook the other side, so it won't look as pretty, but if you want to be safe, you can go ahead and dip your spatula in there and flip those over and cook both sides. Or you can cook the eggs in a separate pan and just add the hash.
Yeah.
This is just kind of a fancy way. It looks fancy.
Yeah.
You set this out for your family. Say you've got a Saturday breakfast or something. You're cooking for a lot of people. You can set this out, and it looks
Absolutely.
fantastic. Yours looks
good.
better than mine.
No.
So, do you want to dish yours out first? Or do you want me to try the first
Go ahead, you
round? Because this might stick. So Gary's gonna let me mess this
Here, I
up
got your
first.
plate here.
All right. Perfect.
Good job.
So,
Okay, do you want some more of your hashy stuff?
yeah, you can put some. You mind loading me up with a little more? There we go.
There you go.
Awesome.
Some more meat. There you go. That's the best part.
He's like, we need more sausage.
Okay.
I'll hold this for you so you can.
Okay. So I'm going to try and
Scoop.
get this egg.
I'm telling you, he's a pro.
There you go.
After 1.5 years of cooking through the
this.
calendar,
That's right.
he's ready to go.
There we go. I'm going to steal a little bit from that triangle.
All right.
Okay.
I'm just going to kind of set this off the heat. We have electric burners here at the office. If you have gas, you don't necessarily, you can just turn off the gas. You don't necessarily have to take it off the burner.
Right.
But these stay
Yeah.
hot, and so you're going to burn the bottom of your pan most likely if you leave it on there. So that's why we do that.
Okay.
I
I'm
think
going to try.
just looking at this, and I can't tell, they say that you're not supposed to add anything before you taste it. But I think I'd like to put some hot sauce on here. That seems
Okay.
like it would be a good thing to add. All right, moment of truth. What do you think,
That's good.
Gary?
It's very good. Good flavors.
Wow, I think that is pretty good. We did a great job. You
I
did
like
a great
mixing
job.
in the yolk there too.
So something important to note on this is we didn't add any salt. There was no salt added to this. So all the salt came from the breakfast sausage, which usually already has a lot of salt in it. So if you can stand not adding any salt and go ahead and eat it without it, it's going to be a lot more healthy. You're going to reduce that sodium, and so that's good. It tastes good. All we added was paprika and black pepper, and I think
good.
it's got good flavor.
Good job. Good job.
You too.
Thank you. And again, that's the breakfast hash. It's our March recipe in our food and nutrition calendar. And you can get your calendar and cook along with us because next month we'll be cooking again, right?
Yeah,
In
and
April.
let's just preview that. What do we got? Ooh, turkey stuffed peppers.
Oh, that sounds good.
April will be a good month. Yeah.
Exactly. So join us again for Cooking Through the Calendar. This has been Gary White with Luke Fries at the Nelson County Extension Office.